win, go win, go win, go win, go win, man, go win.
Let's transition and go out to the NFC wild card matchup between the number 3 seeded Philadelphia Eagles and the 6th seed San Francisco 49ers in the NFC, as Brock Purdy and the 12-5 San Francisco 49ers are traveling to Philly to take on Jalen Hurts and the 11-6 Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are favored by 4.5 points. It's a 4:30 p.m. kickoff on Sunday on Fox. The over-under for this matchup is 44.5 points. And obviously, these two teams faced off against one another in the NFC Championship game a few years ago. That was the year where the Eagles beat the 49ers. Brock Purdy got injured in that particular matchup, and the Eagles beat the 49ers. The Eagles went on to the Super Bowl where they lost in that Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And the 49ers and the Eagles played again, I believe, in the 2024 season, and the 49ers beat the Eagles on that particular day. That game was in Philly, and the 49ers pretty much dominated that game start to finish in that particular matchup. But in this matchup, we got the San Francisco 49ers, who are 12-5. Let's start off with Brock Purdy for the Niners. Brock Purdy for the season, in 9 games, 20 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 2,167 passing yards, completing 69% of his passes. I feel like Brock Purdy played really, really well for the 49ers, specifically in Week 16 and in Week 17. In Week 16, Brock Purdy lit it up against the Colts on a Monday night. The 49ers beat the Colts 48-27. And then in the matchup on Sunday Night Football in Week 17, the 49ers beat the Bears 42-38. And I believe in those 2 weeks, Brock Purdy had 8 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. He was balling in those particular games. And I'm looking at the 49ers, though, as a football team. They went from having a chance to have the road to the Super Bowl have to go through San Francisco. Had the 49ers beat the Seahawks in Week 18, the 49ers, there was a possibility to where they did not have to leave the state of California. They could have had the road to the Super Bowl, go through San Francisco, and the Super Bowl was in San Francisco this season. They lost in Week 18 to the Seattle Seahawks, and now the 49ers have to go to Philadelphia and play the defending Super Bowl champions on Wild Card Weekend. So they could have been the 1 seed in the NFC. The loss of the Seahawks dropped them to the 6th seed in the NFC. Life comes at you fast. It comes at you fast. But them as a football team, they have overcome a lot this year. I brought up Brock Purdy a little earlier. Mac Jones stepped in earlier this season and played well for the 49ers in that Shanahan system. I mean, there were moments where Mac Jones actually looked like a franchise quarterback. So we know how great Kyle Shanahan is as a head coach in developing quarterbacks. And Mac Jones played really, really good in the absence of Brock Purdy earlier this season. So much so there were actual people that were trying to say maybe the 49ers should keep Mac Jones in as their starter and not bring back Brock Purdy. But that was ridiculous to me because I believe the 49ers are a better football team with Brock Purdy than they are with Mac Jones. I think Brock Purdy is a better quarterback than Mac Jones. And I think Brock Purdy, honestly, is a good playoff performer. And when you look at the 49ers as a team, they've dealt with a ton of injuries this year. I think Kyle Shanahan is the runaway NFL Coach of the Year. With all due respect to Ben Johnson and what he's been able to do with the Chicago Bears, Liam Cohen and what he's been able to do with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Mike Vrabel and what he's been able to do with the New England Patriots, Kyle Shanahan deserves NFL Coach of the Year because the 49ers have been banged up all season long. And all Kyle Shanahan has done is win, win, win. George Kittle has been in and out of the lineup. Ricky Pearsall has also dealt with injuries. Brock Purdy only played in 9 of the 17 games this season. And defensively, they lost stars, not just players on their defense. They lost stars in Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. They recently also lost their linebacker in Bethune as well. He's out for the season. And they keep winning games. I mean, this team is banged up and they dealt with injuries all season long. And here they are at 12-5 and the 6th seed in the NFC. And they had a chance to be the number 1 seed had they beat the Seahawks. But I still believe that they deserve to be commended for being in this position and having an opportunity to go on a playoff run despite not having some of their key players, specifically defensively. Because they didn't just lose impactful defensive players. They lost stars on their defense in Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. But Kyle Shanahan has done a tremendous job as their head coach. And to me, he's the runaway NFL Coach of the Year. On the flip side, with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles are 11-6. And the Eagles, they obviously are led by Jalen Hurts. And I'm looking at Jalen Hurts this year. Jalen Hurts this season, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 3,224 passing yards, completing 65% of his passes. This Eagles offense, they have been struggling since November. The Eagles, since November, they're averaging 19 points per game. That's ranked 25th in the NFL. Points per drive is 1.8. That's ranked 27th in the NFL. And on 4th down plays, they're 0 for 7, which is ranked dead last in the NFL. So the Eagles offensively, they have been inconsistent all season long. And this is an Eagles offense that has Saquon Barkley as their running back. At receiver, you got A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith. You got Dallas Goedert at tight end as well. So they have elite skill position players. And you got Jalen Hurts at quarterback. So to me, I haven't been able to figure out why the Eagles have struggled so much offensively this year. They have struggled significantly this year. And I'm looking at their ranks as a team this year. They averaged 323 total yards per game. That's ranked 24th in the NFL. They average 194 passing yards. That's ranked 23rd in the NFL, okay? They average 22 points per game. That's ranked 19th in the NFL. And they have elite skill position players. So why do the Eagles continue to struggle so much offensively? I think they have an issue with their offensive coordinator and Kevin Patullo. And obviously we know Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown's relationship is not the same. I think this is going to be A.J. Brown's last season with the Philadelphia Eagles. But I also believe it will be a mistake for the Eagles to move off of A.J. Brown because A.J. Brown is one of the best receivers in pro football. But I think the dynamic of A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts and their relationship not being the same has played a part in why the Eagles have struggled so much offensively. And Saquon Barkley, he has been a shell of himself. And the 2025 version of Saquon is not even close to the 2024 version of Saquon Barkley. I thought Saquon Barkley could have won NFL MVP last year. That's how dominant he was as the Eagles running back. This year, he has significantly fallen off. Saquon, 280 carries, 1,140 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns. That's still a great season for average running backs, okay? Like average running backs, if you get over 1,000 yards, you're happy. But for Saquon, we have not seen the 2024 Saquon Barkley at any point this season. And so I think that's another reason why they have struggled. But the good thing for the Eagles, this game is at Lincoln Financial Field. Jalen Hurts balls out at home in playoff games. Jalen Hurts is 5-0 in home playoff games, 11 total touchdowns, 0 turnovers. He averaged 156 passing yards per game, 39 rushing yards per game. So Jalen Hurts balls out in home playoff games for the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's going to be interesting. What's also going to be interesting to me is the Eagles, to me, despite them struggling offensively, they have a great opportunity going up against a 49ers defense that is not a very good defense without Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. I mean, I'm looking at the 49ers in week 17. They gave up 38 points to Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. And in week 18, they only gave up 13 points to Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks. But the Seahawks were able to have some success running the football against the 49ers. They had over 180 rushing yards in that particular game. And Sam Darnold in that game, he was comfortable. He was comfortable in that particular game. And the Niners were able to get 2 sacks, but I thought the Seahawks marched the football up and down the field against the 49ers. Now, the 49ers did great in the red zone, but defensively, the 49ers are not a good football team. But they are an elite offense. And that's what's going to be key in this game. The 49ers offense versus the Eagles defense. Because I think the Eagles defense is one of the best defenses in pro football. The 49ers offense, they're tied for 3rd in points per game. The Eagles, defensively, they are ranked 1st in points given up per game. The 49ers, they're 9th in yards per play. The Eagles, they are ranked 5th in yards per play. And passing yards per game, 49ers are ranked 8th. The Eagles defense is ranked 6th in the NFL. The 49ers offense, they're ranked 2nd at sacks given up. The Eagles are ranked tied for 7th in sacks that they get. And there was one other key for the 49ers. Will Trent Williams play in this game? That's going to be key for the 49ers. They're going to need Trent Williams, their all-pro tackle, to play in this particular game to have a chance. But this is going to be a very interesting matchup. But I think because of the 49ers injuries and because of Jalen Hurts' dominance at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, I'm rolling with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles to beat Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers. Eagles 24, 49ers 13.
Go in, go in, go in.